Well, if you want to eat, I'll send an email.
I'll give you an hour.
Yeah, I'll send an email and tell them. Isn't it fascinating that the people with, what I have seen, is the people with a lot of times the best stories, the ones that can really inspire the most people, are the ones who are out there homeless on the streets. I mean, doing, you know, in situations to where they don't really think that they have anything to live for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That blows my mind, man.
Can't believe it.
I experience that every time I go into jails or treatment centers or institutions or something like that, and you talk to people, man, and I think that what people don't realize is that, you know, is that everybody's got a story. There's like billions of different stories, man, out there. It's what makes good movies. People love it. It's just, I don't know, it makes me cringe to think about how I used to underestimate my story, and also when I hear somebody or see somebody doing the same thing with theirs too. In the last 24 hours, I've probably heard, you know, 10 people who have come up who have told me their story and then told me that they didn't have a story.
Yeah. Like, wait, what were you just talking about?
What I've noticed here is that people get involved in this community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they come alive with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just talking to a guy inside who's from Guam, and it's kind of like a second-rate country. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to serve in the military, or they do serve our country, but they don't vote. You know what I'm saying? They can't vote. Yeah, they can't vote, right? So I mean, the entire, and there's about 180,000 of them out there. They all feel like second-rate citizens. You know what I'm saying? And I can see that kind of pain in his eyes, man. And I just talked to him for like 5 minutes and just told him, man, that what he just told me was exactly what was not only going to what he could use as fuel, right? But also how he could fuel his people. You know, and people right there in the same situation. I could see the pain in his eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could see that he had been struggling with that, and I would assume the entire culture struggling with the same thing for years, decades, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was just, you know, and as he was talking, you would just hear the different things that were coming out of his mouth. You know, because I was identifying things with him and talking about my story about how, you know, being afraid, honestly, to be judged when I was just talking or thinking about coming out and talking about how I was addicted to drugs and being an alcoholic. Man, you know, I don't care who you are, you go through some initial fear when you start thinking about actually getting real with the world. But I believe that that's what separates the good men from the great men and the good women from the great women, is that you kind of step out on that faith and you step out on that courage to realize that there's going to be some ridicule, there's going to be some judgment, but you know what? Nobody does anything great in this world without being judged and without being ridiculed at first. You know what I'm saying? All of the great people, Martin Luther King Jr., that's a prime example, right? I mean, all of the great people who have done impactful things in this world were always judged and always ridiculed when they first did it. And then, you know what, man, eventually people caught on and realized how powerful it was. And some of the biggest movements in the world have been created from somebody who was, I mean, look at us at the beginning. I mean, when we first launched this company, we were ridiculed and you know, all kinds of negative feedback, right? And, you know, here we are.
Look at this.
Your story or your struggle is your wealth.